You're gonna pull it in 3. If I could grab these tools, 2 and 1, go. Woohoo! All right, we're good right there. Still connected. The colorations. I don't know. He looks like he looks at his butt from, like he does this. He goes. It's literally what he does.
Let me see it
again. He goes. Meow. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here at the ranch. Today, you guys, is finally the day that we've been waiting for. It's been up to a year now since we've been waiting for the cassowaries to grow up and make them their enclosure, make them their dream enclosure, make them their massive enclosure. But what we have to do before we start digging the holes on the other side of this old chicken coop, we cleared out some of the turtle pins so it's a little bit bigger over here. All this is gonna get taken off. There's not gonna be all this obstacle course crap. None of that's gonna be there. Some of these 4x4s maybe, but that's it. We blocked off this little door right here because they were running over here back and forth. But the situation that we're having right now is we have to knock out this whole entire wall before the sun goes down. Why? Because that hole on the side over there is gonna be a 24 by 40 foot enclosure, and our 6x6s literally land right on top of this wall, so we got to take this off. This is going to be our main wall right here to divide both sides up. It's going to be a barn slide door, so if we wanted to slide the door open, we can. Slide the door closed, we can. 99% of the time, it's going to be open unless we need to work or maintain one of the sides or separate the bird for some odd reason. Whatever the case may be, we need to have a safety door so we can go back and forth. That's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be building. It's not going to happen right now. We got to take this wall down. These 4x4s are in the ground. My dad's friend Polly, and myself, and a couple of our friends built this chicken coop. It was the first chicken coop we built on this property, on the whole entire ranch, probably around 12 to 14 years ago. And it's still put up. It's sad to see it go. My dad's not happy to see it go. He spent a lot of money on this thing. But things change here on the ranch, and it's time to get it to go. And we're gonna make it 10 times stronger because these 4x4s are now gonna be 6x6s. It's gonna be crazy, and it's time to start taking these freaking walls down. Let's do it. That corner is gone. We are recreating a whole new area. The cassowaries calmed down a lot. They're over here pretty much foraging on a hibiscus tree. It's crazy how many animals eat hibiscus, and there's sometimes different types of trees inside of here. They love hibiscus. I don't know what it is, but they are literally going ham, eating the leaves up. I guess these guys in the wild too do eat greens, so that's a really cool thing to know because that means I can throw greens in there as well, and they can forage and eat greens. But we got this corner done, and we're gonna keep on working our way this way. We're gonna try to knock this 4x4 out and see how that goes. Probably just gonna cut it, and then I could just yank it. It's just when we yank, this whole side is going to start collapsing, which is fine. It's not a situation. That whole other side of the enclosure will be fine. It's all 2x4s connected, so it just might snap off. Any of the mesh that falls off on the top, don't care whatsoever. All this is going to go away in the next probably month, less than a month, and we're not going to have to do it this way. I'm going to get a little machine, and we'll just claw it all out and just throw it in a dumpster and be a lot easier. We're just doing it like this because there's no reason to get a whole machine and all that stuff. If we would have had the Bobcat here this week instead of last week, it would have been really, really good because it has a claw on it. But my buddy needed the machine back, and we don't have it today. So maybe next week we'll have it back. I don't know. Whatever.
That whole plant's gone.
Oh, they're going to eat the whole plant. It's going to be done by tomorrow. Crazy. They destroy everything. All right, we pulled it off. The whole thing is collapsing. Cassandra decided, I'm going to go on the top that's falling and try to break off this area. I guess you can see we built it in pieces. So right here, the 2x4s are all coming off. So that's exactly what we want. She's going to try to pop them off. I don't know. It's her fire girl technique. I guess we'll see how this goes. If she falls into cassowaries. And she has a hammer in her hand. Yeah. Go ahead, cowgirl. Have fun. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And we have about an hour left of daylight. All right. It's the next morning. The cassowaries have already gotten their breakfast. They're still locked up in their temporary block off area that we made for them over here. And today is the day that we need to complete everything on this destruction of taking down a quarter of my first chicken coop here on the ranch. So let's get going. Let's start ripping it all out. We cut out the 4x4s. You can see they're still pretty much in place right there. They're pretty tough down. We might have a situation with these, but with the auging machine that we have, we could dig around them maybe to wiggle it out and pop them out. So that will lead to the last second. But we're gonna just clean up and get everything out. So we just have a little bit more realistically over there. You can see we were using the golf cart to pull it all out, rip it out, and we just have this little section right here. We're gonna do our best to not damage the guava tree, because this guava tree needs to stay inside of here. This is gonna be a keen tree for our cassowaries to do some natural foraging inside of their enclosure whenever they want. The sea grape tree that we cut down the other, probably about a month ago now, has now started to form, and it is starting to grow back, which is what I knew was gonna happen. And we're gonna let this be a nice bush and a big umbrella. But enough talking, let's start ripping. Section by section, try to keep it as piece as we can, so that a little easier to throw it all away, throw it on my dump trailer and toss it all out. We're just about almost done. We have another piece of plywood up there, and then we just got to take off the whole remaining roof on that side, because like I said, this is going to be an 8-foot tall enclosure. The fence behind us is 6 foot tall. It's going to be 8 foot tall, so 2 more feet taller, and then it is a 6-gauge hog panel, so it's going to be really, really thick stuff. No way anything can get into it. This is what they use for class 1 animals, meaning anybody that owns like tigers, bears, lions, oh my, yeah, they use that mesh. And for these birds, you don't need to use this mesh, but I always like to go one step higher than what the class is. Like the otters, they don't need lockout doors, they don't need all of that extra stuff, but I built it that way because safer, better, and it just looks cooler at the end of the day. So that's pretty much what I did. We're gonna pull out this last little bit of fencing. I'm gonna cut off the corners, and then we're gonna bring the golf cart back to this side and then rip this whole roof off. And we just have a couple more pieces, and then that is pretty much it. We gotta toss all of this stuff out. And then I'm probably, if it doesn't get past 12 o'clock, what's 10:40 right now, by 12 o'clock, I am gonna go get the rent the machine. Renting machines, you guys, if you guys have never rented machines from a hardware store or anything like that, best thing in the world. Why? These machines cost thousands, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. And realistically, when you have a small hobby farm, something like mine, it's not a big farm, it's not very large, but small hobby farm that you're not using things every single day, renting something for a couple $100 for that 24 hours or for that 3 to 6 hours, 1000% worth it. One, you're gonna have to maintain it. Two, all you have to do is put freaking gas in it, use their trailer, use your truck, tow it over, use it for the day, work your butt off for those couple hours, and return it. That's it. If it's muddy, you wash it off a little bit and you call it a freaking day, instead of going out and go buy a freaking $50,000 toy when you're only gonna use it maybe once a month. And then once all your projects are done, you're not using it anymore. So you just have this freaking $60,000 toy sitting inside your garage for absolutely no reason when you get rented for $300 for the freaking day. I'm renting a machine. That's what I've been doing here, and that's how I made majority of my whole ranch. So go rent a machine, you guys. Just make sure that I'm renting them first. So that's all I'm saying. All right, so let's keep on going. All right, here we go. Let's find this right over here. So this back fence over here was all redone, but behind the chicken coop, this one little section, 40-foot section, has never been redone. So once we tear down the whole rest of this back wall, we'll definitely have to put new landscaping posts up and new fencing up and everything, get that all secured, because we're gonna have a 2 to 3 foot perimeter barrier from our neighbor's backyard, so we can walk along the whole perimeter of the cassowary enclosure without our neighbors being able to touch the cassowaries. My neighbors don't care. My neighbors, I've known them for a very, very long time, and they love the animals and love everything about them. They don't care anything I do whatsoever, and that's the best thing about having good neighbors. All right, that's good right there. That's all. Everything's detached right there. Xander, you can get the golf cart in the camera and see if it'll slide out. Let's see if that couple little pieces of tearing down work. Just go straight and it should just slide right out. Nice and squeaky, but it should be good. Keep going. Yeah, I see that. Hey, there's a nail right here is what it is. Yeah, it's a little thing right there. All right, hold on. Let me pop that out, and then it'll go out real quick. 1 second. You're going to pull it in 3. If I could grab these tools. 2 and 1. Go. Woohoo! All right, we're good right there. Perfect. We're out. That little piece, we can cut out in 2 seconds. If we can unscrew things, we will. If we can't, we can't. But a little bit easier. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Got the whole piece out. Look at that, you guys. Exactly what we needed. I was almost thinking, and I got a really good idea, even though they don't need it whatsoever. These animals obviously live in the jungle, thick in the jungle. They don't need structure. They don't need a house. It doesn't snow here to get out of the snow. But I was thinking, because I have all these extra panels all the way across, I was thinking because I have some still extra 4x4s inside of here, I was thinking, that's the fourth time I said I was thinking, maybe inside of here or maybe over here, I don't know. Maybe I could leave these panels like this, which this section is not going to be good because it has to be built up higher. But I could build something like this, maybe one or two of them in two different sections for them to have a little spot, like a little house, you could say. Maybe over there in the corner or something. I could just put 2 4x4s in the ground, a little hangover, build up the ground, and they could be a high, nice, dry area if I wanted to. Realistically, they don't need it whatsoever. They've never had a house, and with all the rains we've had here in South Florida, they're perfectly fine. Where they come from, it rains a lot. Naturally, they like the water, so it is okay. And for the cold times like it is right now, it is fine. I know people that have these guys pretty much in the snow. As long as they have an area to get out of the snow, they are fine. And then they just walk in the snow, no problem. The only reason why they need somewhere to get out of the snow, so that if they start feeling a little too cold, they don't get frostbite and their fingers don't freaking fall off, and you don't want that. I have seen cassowaries with no toes, and it sucks. It doesn't look good. I mean, you have a freaking nub. They're made to have those 3 big claws, and when they just have a nub, it's not healthy for them, obviously. So that wasn't a right enclosure environment. But for here in South Florida, perfect. Look at them drinking water over there. Check them out. Oh, they just heard me talk to them. We heard them. It's so cool when they drink water. The colorations. I don't know. He looks like he looks at his butt from, like he does this. He goes. It's literally what he does.
Let me see it again.
He goes. Meow. He goes all the way upside down. It's the funniest thing ever. But they do that all the time. Hit it. Press the gas. There you go. Come on.
Doesn't have that much power right now.
That's okay. Put it in brake and then turn it off again. All right, hold on, you guys. Golf cart's running out of power. I forgot to charge it last night. That's all right. All right, we're almost there, though. We got a whole nice big slob of piece right there. I'm going to get the grinder and grind out that whole piece of mesh real quick, and then we'll yank that whole piece out. Thanks. I was underneath there. I almost died. But the whole section's out. It looks perfect. Now we got to fold this bad boy up and yank her the heck out of here. Let's do it. Still connected. So we cut this 4x4?
Why it hit the other way?
Get off on this.
Wait. Ooh, Blake.
Yep. She's broken. All right, we're getting there. One piece at a time. We put it in, we can take it out. All right, so we're pretty much coming to the end of tearing down this whole entire section right over here. The last part we have are this metal sheeting over there, but I definitely want to save that stuff. Stuff lasts forever. We reused it already once for our parrot enclosures for the roofing on the top. The metal prices went up crazy, so if it's not rusted like it is up top, we're just gonna unbolt it. I need to get myself another one of these nut thingies. I'm horrible at naming my tools, but I just know what works and what doesn't work. But what you want to call that? I need a smaller one for up there on the roof. Take those off, pull it all out, and then we have all of this mess over here. I got to pull all of that out as well before we start our next video, or probably, I don't know, we'll see. I got to get the machine to start digging all the holes and all that stuff. Other than that, you guys, follow along, put your post notifications on, you guys. The build has started. We're ready to go. We're going to start creating this brand new enclosure for the cassowaries. As you can see, it's getting bigger and bigger. We're going all the way almost to Marty's enclosure down there. It's going to be a total of 80 foot long by 24 foot wide. It's a very, very large enclosure for these guys. It's definitely perfect amount of space for a pair of adult cassowaries. If I was able to make it 3 times the size, I would, maybe in the near future. These guys are still young anyways too. They're not going to be completely matured in another 3 to 4 years, and on top of that, they're not going to start laying until about 6 to 7 to 8 years old. So maybe in another 5 years or no, so we could build something else. Who knows? Things change all the time, but for now, for the next few years, this is going to be their permanent enclosure. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, put your post notifications on, you guys. Go make sure you guys are checking out the website and all the things we have available. Blake's Exotic Feeders. We have a ton of frozen quail available, you guys, for all of your animal needs. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.